The golden retriever wouldn't stop taking things from her room. Every single day, 6-year-old Maya Chen discovered something else had vanished. Her favorite doll, her purple rain boots, the star-patterned pillowcase she refused to sleep without. When her mother finally decided to investigate beneath Max's bed in the corner of their living room, what she found made her heart stop. The items weren't scattered or chewed up. They were positioned with unmistakable intention, a pathway that had been protecting her daughter from danger every single night. What they discovered was so incredible, it transformed everything they believed about their loyal companion. Before we continue, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up so you never miss another extraordinary story like this one. 4 weeks earlier, the Chen family first noticed the strange behavior beginning. Sarah came downstairs one Wednesday morning to find Maya sitting on the hallway floor, her small shoulders shaking with quiet sobs, her arms wrapped around nothing where Princess Bella should have been. "Max took her again, Mommy," Maya said, her bottom lip trembling. "Why doesn't he like me anymore?" Sarah felt a knot form in her stomach. The golden retriever had been their faithful friend for 4 years, adopted when Maya was barely 2 years old. He'd been gentle beyond measure, the kind of dog who tolerated dress-up games and tea parties without complaint. But recently, something had changed. "We'll get her back, sweetheart," Sarah promised, though worry made her voice waver. She'd been staying up late finishing reports for her consulting firm, and this new problem felt overwhelming. Max is probably just being playful. But her husband David wasn't buying it.
That night, after rescuing Princess Bella from underneath Max's bed for the 4th time that week, he cornered Sarah in their bedroom. "This isn't right," he said, his expression troubled. "He's specifically going after her belongings, the things she loves most. It's like he's deliberately upsetting her." "Dogs don't work that way," Sarah responded, but doubt colored her words. "Maybe we should contact a dog trainer." "Or maybe," David paused, his face darkening, "maybe he's developing aggression toward her. Maybe we need to think about finding him another home." Sarah understood immediately. The suggestion hung heavy in the air between them, painful but clear. Rehoming Max, giving him to another family. The following morning, Maya's rain boots vanished, then her collection of toy horses, then the nightlight shaped like a sleeping moon that helped her feel safe in the dark. Each disappearance seemed purposeful, calculated. Max would observe until Maya stepped out of a room, then act with focused determination, carrying items carefully in his mouth directly to his bed. "Max, stop it!" Maya cried one evening, catching him red-handed with her pillowcase. She grabbed one end, but the retriever held tight. His warm brown eyes locked onto hers with an expression so intense it unsettled even Sarah. "Maya, let it go," Sarah said firmly, pulling her daughter away. "We can buy you a new pillowcase." "I don't want a new one," Maya wept. "I want mine. I want Max to love me again." That evening, after Maya had exhausted herself crying and finally fallen asleep, David discovered Sarah standing alone in the backyard, gazing at nothing. "I called the animal shelter this morning," he admitted softly, "just to understand our options. They said they'd accept him if we needed them to." Sarah's voice broke. "Not yet. Let's give it another week." But Maya had been listening from the hallway. The next day, she wouldn't touch her breakfast, her face drawn and pale. "You're getting rid of Max," she whispered. "It's all my fault." "No, honey, it's not about you. I'll do better. I'll keep everything in my closet. Please let him stay." The guilt consumed them both. They began separating Max from Maya more frequently, closing doors to keep them apart, monitoring him with wary eyes. The golden retriever seemed to recognize the change. He paced nervously. He whimpered. And somehow he still managed to take her belongings. 3 weeks into this nightmare, everything came to a head. David had been attempting to work from their home office, struggling to concentrate on design proposals while exhaustion clouded his thoughts. Neither he nor Sarah had been sleeping properly. the stress of their situation keeping them awake at night, lying in the darkness and questioning what had happened to their once perfect dog. That afternoon, Maya's sketchbook disappeared. It contained weeks of careful drawings, including one of their whole family, with Max drawn biggest of all, surrounded by hearts. "That's enough," David declared, his patience finally breaking. "I'm calling the shelter tomorrow morning. We can't keep doing this." But Maya, overhearing from her room, did something completely unexpected. She walked straight to Max's bed, her young face set with fierce determination, tears falling but chin raised. "I'm taking my things back," she announced. "All of them." "Maya, wait," Sarah began. But Maya had already dropped to the floor, crawling beneath the low frame of Max's bed. David knelt beside her immediately, prepared to intervene if Max showed any signs of aggression. But the retriever simply sat, watching calmly, his tail motionless, those gentle brown eyes following every movement. "Sweetie, let Daddy handle this." "No," Maya's voice echoed from under the bed. "I need to see what he did with everything." Then silence. "Maya!" David's pulse raced. "Maya, what's wrong?" "Daddy," her voice emerged, quiet and bewildered. "Everything's here, all of it, and they're arranged in a straight line."
David grabbed his phone, activating the flashlight and shining it beneath the bed. What he saw stopped his breathing. Every single item Max had taken was there, positioned with impossible precision. Princess Bella sat furthest back against the wall. Then the rain boots placed side by side. The toy horses lined up perfectly. The pillowcase folded, actually folded into a neat rectangle. The moon night light, the sketchbook, everything, creating a deliberate path from the bed's edge toward the wall facing the hallway. "What on earth?" David breathed. "Why would he organize them like this?" Maya crawled backward, clutching Princess Bella tightly, confusion written across her features. Why did he make everything so neat? Something cold gripped David's chest. This wasn't destruction or aggression. This was intentional, meaningful arrangement. "Sarah," his voice came out urgent. "Sarah, you need to see this." His wife appeared in the doorway, and David illuminated the bizarre collection beneath Max's bed with his phone light. "That's impossible," Sarah said slowly. "Dogs don't organize objects? They don't create patterns?" "Unless they're trying to communicate something," David murmured. Then the realization hit him. The baby monitor. They'd installed it in Maya's room months ago, but hadn't reviewed the footage recently. His hands trembled as he opened the app on his phone, scrolling backward through previous nights. "What are you searching for?" Sarah asked. "I don't know, but Max is trying to tell us something." He found it in footage from 2 nights earlier. At 3:14 a.m., Maya's door opened slowly. The little girl walked out, eyes completely closed, face expressionless with deep sleep, and moved directly toward the staircase. "Oh my God," Sarah gasped. "She's sleepwalking." But before Maya reached the stairs, before she could fall down 12 wooden steps to the floor below, Max appeared. The golden retriever positioned himself in her path, his body creating a barrier. He nudged her softly, persistently, redirecting her away from danger. Maya, still trapped in sleep, followed the scent of Princess Bella clutched in Max's mouth, following him all the way to his bed, where she curled up on his blanket and slept safely through the rest of the night on the ground level. David scrolled further back. 3 nights ago, 5 nights ago, 8 nights ago. Every single night for nearly a month, the identical, terrifying scene unfolded. Maya sleepwalking, heading for the stairs, Max intercepting her. "He's been saving her," David said, his voice cracking. "Every single night, and we were about to abandon him." Sarah's hands covered her face, tears streaming down. The sleepwalking episodes. We thought it was just that one time weeks ago when we found her near the bathroom. That was when this started. David understood. The same night Max took Princess Bella for the first time. The crushing weight of their mistake pressed down on them. All those times they'd scolded Max, isolated him from Maya, considered him dangerous, and every night he'd been keeping their daughter alive. "We need to call Dr. Patterson immediately," Sarah said, already reaching for her phone, Maya's pediatrician. "If she's sleepwalking this frequently, it could get worse," David finished. "She might start opening exterior doors, windows.
The following hours passed in a blur. Dr. Patterson confirmed their deepest fears. Untreated sleepwalking in children Maya's age could be extremely dangerous, particularly near staircases. She provided a referral to a sleep specialist and recommended urgent safety precautions. That same evening, David installed safety gates at the staircase, locks on all windows, motion sensor alarms on Maya's bedroom door. But that night, after Maya was asleep, both parents sat on the floor beside Max's bed. The golden retriever watched them with those knowing, gentle eyes. "I'm so sorry," David said, his voice thick with emotion. "Max, I'm so incredibly sorry. You were trying to warn us, and we were too blind to see it." Sarah pressed her face into the retriever's soft fur, her shoulders shaking. "You saved her. You saved our baby, and we treated you like the enemy." Max's tail thumped softly against the floor. Then he leaned into their embrace, offering the only form of forgiveness he knew.
The next morning, Maya created a new drawing. This one showed Max wearing a superhero cape, soaring above their house with a giant heart on his chest. She titled it, "Max, My Hero," in wobbly crayon letters. "He was protecting me," she said simply, as though it had always been obvious. "He just wanted to keep me safe." They moved Max's bed into Maya's room that very afternoon, a larger, more comfortable one positioned between her small bed and the doorway. Dr. Patterson explained that having a beloved pet nearby often reduced sleepwalking incidents, providing subconscious comfort. But even if Maya did wander, Max would be right there. That first night, Maya insisted on returning all her treasures to Max one by one. "You can keep them," she told him seriously, "in case you need to make another trail." But Max simply rested his head on his paws, content now that his little girl was safe, now that her parents finally understood. From that moment forward, no one in the Chen family questioned Max's instincts. When he barked at a small fire in the garage before the smoke detector activated, they listened. When he refused to let Maya near the backyard fence where a hornet's nest was growing, they trusted him completely. He'd earned more than their gratitude. He'd earned their unwavering faith. The sleep specialist later explained that dogs can detect subtle changes in breathing patterns, restlessness, and other indicators before sleepwalking begins. Max had likely been waking each night before Maya even left her bed, preparing his safeguards, ready to protect her. Sometimes the behaviors that appear most concerning are actually the most protective. Sometimes what we interpret as betrayal is devotion so profound it doesn't wait for understanding or permission. The boundary between safety and catastrophe is often guarded not by our awareness, but by instincts far wiser than our assumptions. Max couldn't explain his actions, couldn't make them understand with words. So he constructed a lifeline from stolen treasures and waited patiently for them to finally see what he'd known all along. That love doesn't require understanding to be genuine, and protection doesn't need recognition to be complete. If this story touched your heart or opened your eyes to the remarkable instincts our animal companions possess, please hit that like button, drop a comment sharing what you would have done in this situation, and subscribe for more powerful stories that remind us how much we can learn from those who cannot speak our language. Share this with your friends and family, because sometimes our guardian angels have 4 legs and gentle brown eyes, waiting patiently for us to finally understand what they've been showing us all along.